we will generate new conditions where people will dare to dream. Today they don't even dream. I don't know you too well, but I don't believe you drive the kind of car you want. You drive what you can afford. I don't believe you live in the kind of house you want to live in. You live in what you can afford. Maybe your house would have the history of films, or whatever you're interested in. The kind of future we want to make is that every house is designed to meet human needs, and it fulfills the widest ambitions. So if you're an artist or painter or writer or film collector or anthropologist, your house will serve your interest. Why do we do that? Free, by the way. All the equipment in your house would be free. We do it because the smarter you are, the richer the world. Every person kept from education hurts the world. I'm not talking about conventional education. I'm sure you understand that by now. Okay, that's more propaganda than education. The reason I don't speak at most universities is they depend on support from the establishment. And if I attack this establishment, who the hell's going to support the university? The same with television and radio. The reason I'm not on most television shows is because they depend on automobile companies, the drug companies that pay for their time on the air. So they can't be truthful. They can't be honest. Would they like to be? Perhaps they would, but they can't afford it. Some people can't afford to be decent. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Very much so.
Now, the world I'm talking about has no prostitution. You can't sell drugs because there's no money anymore. You can go to the Access Center and access anything you want. It's cheaper to give things to people than put them in prison. If it costs $50,000 a year to keep a kid in prison, he doesn't come out any better, or an adult. Isn't it cheaper to make things available to people? Take 10 kids in prison, that's a lot of money. And if you had a center in your city where people can access a wristwatch, whatever they want, give it to them. That's the end of most crimes. Now there's such a thing as serial killers, different types of crimes. What we do is nip that in the bud in school. During the early stages of development is when that happens. So I want to try to make this very clear. It's very important that you listen carefully, not get angry. If you're brought up in the Deep South, an uneducated region, you're going to speak with a Southern accent. I don't care what nationality you were, you're going to speak with a Southern accent, and you're going to reflect the culture around you. You're going to say, I'm going to give me a nigger, I'm going to kick his ass in. Facial expressions, manner, all learned from the community. And they tell you we're individuals. We reflect our culture and subgroup. If you don't understand me, talk to a Frenchman. He speaks English with a French accent. Germans use their hands a lot. So you see, go to Italy and say, Americano. That's all picked up from the environment. There is no Italian nature. There's no human nature. If you're brought up by an Eskimo family or the headhunters of the Amazon as a baby, if you never saw anything else, you'd be a headhunter. And if I said to you, doesn't it bother you to have 10 shrunken heads in your hut? He says, yes, my brother has 20. So is he a bad guy? No, that's where he's coming from. If you were brought up in Nazi Germany as a baby, all you see is Heil Hitler, Deutschland über alles, Germany above all. If you see nothing else, if you've read nothing else, Heil Hitler. Is he bad? No. He's a victim of culture. So we don't hate anybody because everybody is perfectly well adjusted where they're coming from. The Southerner that lynches the black is not a bad person. He's a person that's been brought up in a warped environment. Do you understand that? Yes. That's why there's no prisons in the future, no police, because we maintain a growing environment in all our schools. The racial problem does not occur because all kinds of people are brought up together. But if parents go to work, you're a Catholic, you don't play with that little Lutheran boy. Parents, as a whole, do not know how to raise children. Oh, don't get mad at me. Think about what I'm saying. So if you want to live in a world of peace, abundance, the end of war, poverty, unemployment, hunger, it'll take a resource-based economy. So if you don't like a resource-based economy, it may be what you project into it. There's not a group of technical people that say, you will work in Area D, you, Area K. That's what they picture. They get that from Hollywood, where the robots walk over and choke people. All these movies on the future are hostile. They have nothing to do with science or intelligence. They're made by stupid people with stupid scriptwriters, hacks. So I'm telling you that the future can be fantastic, fabulous, and ever exciting and interesting. Of course, there'll be no tightrope walkers, nobody beating each other up, there'll be no bullfights, but people have to be educated out of it, not forced out of it. You can't outlaw religion, it'll go underground. So what we really do is translate all religious teachings into a way of life. So a person says, you're trying to make the earth a better place. A minister told me that. You're trying to make the earth, my kingdom is out there. But they forget that Jesus said, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. There's no business in heaven, no private property, no money, none of those things. Don't you understand? Read your Bible. You can then see how far man has strayed from the teachings of the wisest people that ever lived.
There's no better time to make all this happen than right now. I mean, we can't say, oh, this is going to happen in the future and this and that. It's like, well, if we want to see it in the future, then we have to be taking steps right now. The way I see the nature of people, like, have you seen the Alex Jones rebuttal to your whole Zeitgeist thing? It was like 3 videos on YouTube. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yes.
What did you think of that?
Well, look, first of all, it might run an hour, hour and a half, where normal people were conditioned for 30, 40 years to a certain value system. So instead of equal time, which is stupid, if you go, if I'm given equal time to a priest in a Catholic church, 1 hour each, he will win. Because people are already conditioned to that point of view.
Right.
So I need a month and a half to his hour.
Right, I got you.
And then it would be equal time. So they don't even know how to run a debate or discussion. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to tell you something. The real question you're trying to ask, okay, all that may be true. How do we get from here to there? We get from here to there. The system has to break down. People have to lose confidence in the people they elected. Then they have to look for something new. But they don't know what to look for. That's why we want to make a major motion picture that shows how to get from here to there. It's too difficult for me to describe in this short time all the detail. But I did tell you, I joined the Klan, I joined the White Citizens Council. I met with people that believe the earth is flat, and I turned them around. Now, somebody said to me, do you believe in love? I said, what do you mean by love? And you get all these different interpretations. So he said, do you love your mother? I said, in what area? He didn't understand what that meant. My mother was a racist and a bigot, but she was nice to me, so I didn't love her in that area. Mm-hmm. So let's examine love. It's kind of a stupid word. Do you like everything you've ever done in your life? Mm-hmm. Do you?
No, of course.
Okay. If you live with a duplicate of yourself, how long will you be together?
Right.
You know what I'm getting? So sometimes you love yourself, sometimes you don't. So if you get married and you live with a woman, sometimes you'll love her, sometimes you won't. Sometimes she'll love you, sometimes she won't. Meaning, act favorably toward you. Mm-hmm. Because if your behavior is very different than hers, not wrong, different, she may not like you. Mm-hmm. That she may even hate you. So you say, what happened to love? Well, there's no such thing. It's a fluctuating thing.